Well, you do have a shared experience with me in that we are the types of NBA fans who in July and August, when our team signs players, get overtly excited. We think we're winning the NBA championship. But this year, it might actually come true for your Chicago Bulls. How you feeling? Are you just on one the last 48 hours?
I'm even more on one if you're telling me they actually got a chance at the championship. I'm excited, though. If you win day one and day two of NBA free agency, after the past 4 seasons with the Bulls, it kind of feels like title number 7. So, I don't know. I was just as excited about what Chicago did at the trade deadline last year. That didn't work out too well. I was very excited about what the Bulls did before the 1920 season, bringing in Thad Young and Thomas Satoransky. That didn't work out, but Ben, I'm thinking this time, third time is the charm. It's got to work out this time, right?
Well, I just love that you've got your buddy Skeets from No Dunks, who is all things Toronto Raptors, and he's got to deal with the emotions of Kyle Lowry leaving, but then DeMar DeRozan, arguably the greatest Raptor of all time, now playing for one of his best friend's teams. What was the conversations like with Skeets yesterday about DeRozan coming to Chicago?
I feel like he's excited for me the same way that Raptors fans and Blazers fans were both very complimentary of each other when the Norman Powell and Gary Trent Jr. trade went down. You know, the Raptors were talking to the Blazers fans saying, treat him well. Blazers fans were saying the same back to the Raptors, and that's what it felt like for me and Skeets. It's like you're saying, DeRozan at some point in time is going to be honored by the Raptors. He's one of their franchise icons. So after a few years down in San Antonio, you know, you could argue that DeRozan brought a title to the Raptors with the way the Kawhi Leonard trade went down. So he left on good terms. He's heading to Chicago on good terms. So, yeah, Skeets was telling me you got to treat him well. He's going to show up for you. He gets better every single year. 20 points per game in 8 straight seasons, a career high in assists last year. The guy's still getting better. So, yeah, Skeets was excited. And, you know, we already know that DeRozan looks great in red and black. So it's a perfect fit as far as I'm concerned.
Trey Kerby joins the show. You know him from The Athletic, part of the No Dunks crew. Check out their podcast. Always one of my favorite listens, especially this time of year, because there's certain players that just become part of your guys' lexicon, part of your language. And I feel like as a Bulls fan now, with Lonzo and Caruso, these are guys who could become part of the No Dunks thing. What are you most looking forward to about having Alex Caruso in Chicago?
I'm hoping that he still gets the Lakers bump. I'm hoping he still is a super famous guy, even if he ends up being the 6th man on the Chicago Bulls. But honestly, for me, it's just exciting for the Bulls to be a team that is talked about as a basketball team. Because for, I don't know, it must have been about 2015 till probably 2021, January 2021. If the Bulls were in the news and we were talking about them on the show or the podcast, it was probably for something bad that happened, whether that be a fight in practice between Bobby Portis and Nikola Mirotic, or their coach putting in a punch clock to get everybody to work hard. The Bulls were a little bit of a laughingstock, which is not what you want from one of the bigger franchises in the league. So the fact that they have started acting like a major market and trying to put some wins on the scoreboard, it's exciting to me to have the Bulls be a relevant team. You know, they came down to the final couple of weeks of the season trying to get into the play-in this year, and to me that felt like going for championship number 7. Just the Bulls trying to get the 10th seed to play one more game in this play-in tournament. Hopefully they're a playoff team next season, but at the very least, it doesn't feel like they're lost in the wilderness anymore.
Wow, very tempered expectations. Hopefully a playoff team next season. I introduced you saying they got a shot at the chip. We're all in on these Bulls.
I'm trying to slow play it here, Ben. I was telling everybody that the Bulls were back last year, and it was looking good up until the All-Star break. They had their first All-Star since Jimmy Butler and Pau Gasol back in the day. They made the huge trade for Vucevic. And then they had basically their worst month of the season, and the Bulls were decidedly not back after the All-Star break. So I'm trying to temper my expectations here. Also on the podcast today, though, I did say they're going to sign Nikola Jokic in 2023. So I don't know
very tempered expectations right there,
Yeah,
Trey.
Exactly. No championship this year, but an MVP in a couple of years. We'll see.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.